nightmare.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Subculture, the podcast where we discuss everything strange, obscure and downright messed up in the world of movies. My name's Gary.
And I'm Simon. So Gary, a Serbian film.
Mm.
I'm going to pass to you for the director, because I'm not sure I know quite how to say the name. And the star as well.
Alright.
And the writer. You're saying, no, there's no, I don't think I can. The studio is Contra Film. There we go.
Right. The director, I believe, is known as Serbian Spazojevic.
Got you. Yeah, I could never have said that.
Yeah.
Serbian.
I heard someone pronounce his name.
Spazojevic. Right.
Yes.
Alright, you heard someone? Right,
Yeah.
okay. That's
The
fair
first
enough.
name's trickier. I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. No, we'd never known that.
Yeah.
No. That's good.
So when did this film come out? 2010?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a Serbian film. Oof.
From Serbia, yes. That's great. I'm hoping you know more than that about it. Thanks for joining us on Cinema Subculture. So, do you want to give us a rough plot outline of this, Gary?
Right. Okay, a Serbian film tells of a retired porn star called Milos.
Milos, the Filthy Stud.
Yes.
The best porn title ever. Maybe not the best, but that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, supposedly one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
And he gets loaded out of retirement.
A large cash sum,
Does,
undisclosed large cash sum.
By the shady character of Vukmir.
Vukmir. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's he thinking? I mean, it turns out the guy's name, first name's his last name.
That is, yeah.
I mean, not since Mario have I been so scared. I mean, even her moustache as well. I mean, maybe that wee plumber terrorised those dinosaurs. Anyway.
Yeah, so Vukmir wants to make some sort of groundbreaking new porn.
Porn art.
Art porn, yeah.
Naked art. You know, he's like naked art.
And he needs
It's porn.
Vukmir. He needs Milos.
Aye, no. Vukmir needs Milos.
He does, aye. Milos agrees, but as
Oh, he's very reluctant. And
he gets into the filming,
he's no keen.
yeah, it descends into kind of a hellish nightmare. One of the most controversial films of recent times. I'll just give you a rundown of where the film's been banned.
Would it be quicker saying where it's not banned? No.
What?
It would be quicker saying where it's not banned.
Well, it might be.
Mm.
But according to melon farmers, it was banned in Australia, New Zealand and Norway.
Right.
And from Wikipedia, it was banned in Spain and also Brazil. So,
So where was it actually? I was thinking more of like where it was released uncut. Which countries was it released uncut?
theatrically,
Yeah.
well, I think it was released America and Britain, both cut versions
Yeah.
theatrically. I
Maybe in Serbia it was released uncut.
don't know.
All right. The version that we had, that was uncut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye.
You got your cousin from Serbia to send you that.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah. It's
What's his
it's
name
also,
again, Gary?
Milos.
Milos Vukmir.
Yeah. And it's also hard to find uncut on home video as well,
Sure.
because there's the uncut American DVD. Just
Right. Okay. I
um,
think you said this before.
yeah.
Actually.
There's the Swedish uncut Blu-ray. That's the only two I know about. They're uncut. I think there might be more, but I'm not sure.
I'm kind of like I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that the States got an uncut version. I guess. Are they usually not usually kind of tight or tightish on
For on video?
Yeah.
No, because they can do unrated.
Oh yeah, because you can do unrated, of course.
The MPA is pretty harsh, but
I'm forgetting to do that. Of course.
but it's weird because the same company released it in Blu-ray first, but the cut theatrical version,
Right.
and
I think
then
you told me this before.
they came out with the DVD, which was the DVD in a clear jewel case, like a CD jewel case,
Aye.
single, stuck to a bit of cardboard.
What?
Yeah,
That was the DVD version.
yeah.
Oh, why did you do that?
I don't know. I think it was meant to make it look like a DVD-R or something, like a snuff movie. But it's a bit, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
you're going to buy it. Oh, I need to get the uncut version that comes with a
Yeah,
pack of cardboard.
yeah.
No, even a full case.
Oh man.
Um,
It's weird because like this film doesn't have like the kind of look You know, like, I know what people were saying about is it this generation's Cannibal Holocaust, but really the look of it is quite high quality. You know, I mean, it's very like high production value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks really nice. Yeah.
So it doesn't have that kind of. I don't think there's anyone going to buy this and think it's real.
Yeah, that's on that Video Nasty's Definitive Guide documentary that director Neil Marshall.
Yeah,
he said
right.
that about. He says like it doesn't really work as like a kind of Video Nasty type thing because it looks too clean.
When I was watching it, like stuff with especially at the beginning, 'cause it's quite tongue in cheek, quite humorous at the beginning as well. You know what I mean? Well, I mean a lot of the way through.
Yeah, that's the only thing about the film. Like I don't quite sure it. I'm not sure, but
like some of the music and things like that. And there was parts where Milos was going to Vukmir's was going to his like house, and there's the guys, you know, the heavy mob coming out with the sunglasses on. And the music was playing, and I just all I could think is this feels like a Guy Ritchie film.
Right.
It just felt like Lock, Stock or something like that, you know, with the music playing and there was like all the kind of the gangsters almost looking and stuff like that. So it was a very weird tone, especially the first half of the film.
I think I first heard of it when it was going to be shown at Fright Fest.
Right.
And that was in August 2010. And obviously it was going to be an uncut one because generally you don't need certificates for film festivals. But then the kind of word about, there was kind of a buzz about the film that it was had some kind of pretty tough scenes in it, and then Westminster Council came in and said, "You're not showing that without a certificate."
You cunts.
Yeah. So then it sent to the BBFC pretty quickly, and then they said it needs to be pretty heavily cut, and then they get pulled. They decided not to show it at the festival because they didn't want to show a cut one, but which is a bit of a shame because I think this must be one of the most cut films in the UK, the most cut in the recent years. 49 cuts.
Jeez, oh.
4 minutes.
Yes,
something 39. Yeah, generally I think the reaction to the film's kind of completely overblown.
I mean, it is. I mean, there was one scene in particular. I mean, again, do we want to talk about it? Or do you want to wait? Right, so there's one scene near the end where it's like I kind of knew what was coming, and like I was enjoying the film enough, you know, I was going on with it, and then this was happening, and I knew as soon as I saw what was going, as soon as I saw the room, I was like, I know what's happening here.
Right.
And all of a sudden, every part of me all just shrunk into itself and go, no. I was just like, no, God, no. And so that I mean, there was one scene, there was a couple of scenes that I was like, kind of, ooh, right, okay. Not like that. It wasn't like that at all. It was just kind of like, okay, that could be quite disturbing, I guess. You know what I mean? But I felt like, you know, like I was saying last time about Antichrist and how it was kind of, I felt it was way overblown, and whereas he didn't go for like a kind of, in my opinion, a shock value.
Right.
I felt this did. It went more for like, look at this. Like, I mean, not the worst, you know, images we've seen in certain films, but obviously with it having its kind of higher, glossier look, you know, more like a proper film. I felt they were really kind of thrown out, and I think that took away from it almost, you know. And plus with the kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of vibe to the whole film.
Yeah.
It did really. It was definitely overblown. Like, I mean, I was expecting something way worse, way worse than this.
Yeah.
But as I say, it did feel as if it was going for the kind of gore and shock value more.
Yeah, I think the ideas of what the scenes are is more is worse than what's actually in it. It's not really that explicit, and a lot of it's kind of key scenes.
I think it could have been, a lot of stuff could have been probably executed better. You know, like tasteful's a hard. I can't really throw that out, but you know what I mean. They could have been film. You know, in a film sense, they could have been done better. I think.
Right. I think it was fairly low budget.
I mean, it doesn't look it. To be fair, it doesn't really look low budget. I wouldn't say, but I think like, again, going back to Antichrist, that was quite artful. You know what I mean? That was quite. I didn't come away for that film feeling that it was about those scenes. You know what I mean? But with this, I mean, that's what it's about. Yeah, and that's it. Which is, I mean, that's literally what the story is about. But I did feel that it was far more in your face.
Mm.
Or trying to be more in your face anyway.
Yeah. Generally, I think I quite like the film. Anytime I watch it, I quite enjoy it, especially the first half. I think it's pretty solid. But I always have this feeling that I don't like it that much. I like doing it for this. I was like, oh, I wanted to do it to discuss it, but I was like, I have to watch that again.
I remember you saying that to me.
But it's weird, like, I don't know why that is. There's a kind of disconnect.
I mean, I've got to admit, I enjoyed it enough as well.
Yeah.
As you say, the first half's it works pretty well.
Yeah.
And I've got to admit, when he wakes up in the middle, and you know, I kind of wondered what just happened.
Right.
But and it kind of, you know, it was, and you got to see what happened. But I mean, you've seen that before, kind of thing. So
yeah.
But no, I liked where it was going in the first half. I thought it was.
Yeah, I think it was quite suspenseful. I quite like the whole idea of Vukmir. He's putting out the idea of the kind of snuff porn, which is kind of interesting, like the whole kind of legend of snuff movies. And I think the second half takes a turn. It gets a bit more heightened, ridiculous, even maybe.
Oh, aye, definitely ridiculous.
And I lose a wee bit in the second half of the film. I don't know if it's the plotting's controlled that well, because the second half he's rediscovering what he did.
Yeah.
But I don't feel any particular suspense as an audience member to find out.
No.
It's not really set up that well.
Because I didn't feel like I knew how much time had passed.
Yeah.
So it could have been the next morning. I didn't know what I was going to find out, if you know what I mean.
Because that transition scene's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because he's driving away for that meeting.
Yeah.
And then it's like 18th or whatever.
Yeah.
Then he wakes up at like the next scene at 21st.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kind of.
To be honest, I didn't see the 18th bit.
Right, okay.
I missed it, but I saw him focusing on the 21st.
Right.
And I was trying to figure out what was, you know, how much time had passed. But I mean, it does. It the first half definitely kind of gets you, brings you in, and when they're taking, you know, when he gets his job and he starts to go in, and you definitely get the kind of they're grooming him as much. Well, it looks like they've already groomed the little girl, but they're grooming him to like have like a relationship with this girl almost. That seems what they're heading towards.
Right.
Would you say, would that be fair? Like,
yeah. I
mean, the bit where he's getting a blowjob and the little girl eating like ice lollies and stuff like that in the videos, it's like it's quite. It was funny. I found it quite amusing at the time, because I just couldn't. It was quite crazy. Okay, so let's rewind back a little bit, right? Okay, from that scene. So the first point where he goes in to do like the job that they've got planned out for him, he's not been told anything about what he's going to do. I mean, he's presuming that it's got something to do with pornography, but I guess it's very much implied by Vukmir. But was that just the bit where you see him get into the orphanage, and he sees the girl sitting on the steps, then the mother comes and drags her away? Yeah. Was that just the first day, do you think?
I think so, aye.
It's implied that way, but almost when he comes home, it's almost like he's remembering back. But I wasn't sure what you thought was about that.
Yeah, I think that is, yeah.
What do you think the whole story behind that is? Like the mum and the daughter and stuff like that. Do you think anything they're telling them is true? It sounds like it's almost been like the clients that he's working for, or like it could be interpreted as that woman has been like is the wife of like a war hero and has been like hooring herself out, and this is a punishment type thing that's been.
Are you talking about in the film?
Yeah, like the film? Yeah.
No, I think it's staged.
Right, so it's all staged.
Yeah, I think the point of that is a lot of the films thrown up innocence versus corruption. I think that's what the whole thing with the sort of paedophilia angle is. And that's the kind of theme that runs through the whole film, but I think that's one part of it that I don't think is all that handled that subtly.
Certainly not. I mean, more or less in the first, after the little child Peter is watching the porno. Their explanation of that was quite funny. It's like, what was it? See, when you're beating that girl, that's what he says to his dad. When you're beating that girl in that video, and he's saying he had like wheels turning. Right. I was like, I've never heard that description, and they just know what he's talking about, and they know exactly what to say to him. But I thought that was it was a wee bit kind of. I was a wee bit kind of when they're in the park, him and Peter, and he says about like trying to describe to him how to masturbate,
Right.
and wee Peter goes for it there and then. After his father telling him it's something you do your own,
Right, aye.
I was like, oh my god, what's going on? I literally thought they were going to do this. I thought this. Oh my god, this can't be happening. And thankfully, he says no, hold on,
Yeah.
I'll shut my in. But aye, so I mean, even like from there, it's like the kind of innocence type
Aye.
thing, and obviously, as you say, the paedophilia things as well could be.
Yeah, overall, it's a wee bit heavy-handed. Some aspects of the film is that particularly one that kind of jumped out at me is that like a scene where it's like parallel action between Milos jogging and meditating, and it cuts to his brother with sort of perving over his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good guy, bad guy. It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about it.
Right.
Yeah, I just thought I was like, run him, Milos,
Yeah.
run him. I mean, I really like, was confused with the brother story at first, right? Because, all right, okay, so he fancies his wife. That's, okay, you can get your head around that, right? And then like he's saying that he's not had like female companionship in a wee while, so you're like, okay, that's fair enough. So maybe that's why he's been so kind of pervy and stuff like that. Right, fair enough. She's a bro-little woman, that's fine. But man, he goes straight to the bathroom and told him, what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, and I was like, is that what the Dane? Is it like, what's what? You know, you're not even going to get him. You know what I mean? Not heard of the spank bank. You know what I mean? The spank bank's for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I had to say was, oh well, I'm away him. You know what I mean?
The car even.
The car. There's lay-bys out there driving.
Yeah.
All I had to say was, can I take a picture of you eating that apple there? Didn't bother. I did think that was kind of weird, and I mean, I take it like he's maybe a wee bit weirder than he seems anyway. When you get to later on in the film. I mean, I don't know how much of that was him or if he was being drugged as well. You know. So we get that kind of thing with the brother. So it's kind of. So I take he's a cop.
Aye.
Right. So you bit weird when he first when Milos is meeting up with, is it, Layla?
Oh right. Is it, I can't remember her name.
Can't remember his ex-porn partner.
Right, yeah.
Who was in the video getting beat. And all of a sudden his brother's just there
Right. Aye.
and comes right up, sits down next to her and tries to feel her tits. Is that not a wee bit rude?
It might be.
I mean,
Considered so.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's not in the same league as, you know, having a wank in the toilet or your brother's wife. I don't think, but it's definitely more in your face.
Yeah.
So I guess that was coming back to the whole tongue in cheek type. You know, this is a wee bit funny. Where are they going with this kind of? This is a lot less serious than I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? So yeah, so we've got the kind of first time when like he's getting the blowjob for the doctor, the girl that's bit to the
Right.
doctor.
Okay.
She comes in when Vukmir's interviewing him, getting to
Right.
sign the thing, and
Oh. Aye.
she brings the contract in. He calls her doctor, so
Right. Okay.
I'm here and that's what I'll be referring to her as. And after that, it's the blonde girl who's the war hero's wife / whore,
Right.
and then she bites his knob, and then see that guy that grabs him from behind, like when that's happening, because like she because he realises the wee lassie's there sitting watching, and he's no for it. And then the blonde woman bites his dick. And so then the other guy grabs him from behind and tells him to hit her. So he punches her a couple of times, and then she just starts like jerking him off. But like, see that guy who's behind me? Him? If he was behind me, I'd have punched him before he eventually punches him. But I was like, thank fuck. That was out of order, wasn't it? There was some points that I thought they're being kind of unexplicit. You know, like when they were showing the porno at the beginning, they weren't really showing anything, right?
Yeah.
And then there was bits where it gradually got more explicit as the film went on.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought it was quite funny. Like, right up to, like, all that part I thought was quite amusing. Even when he punched the guy, I thought that was excellent. I thought that's what needed to happen. That's what happens. If you do that, that's what happens.
Did you look into what the director and the writer had talked about as the motivation for making the film?
No.
Right.
I did wonder. I was hoping you'd have it.
Right. Well, they kind of see the film as a analogy for Serbia itself. That's the name.
Right. Okay. I mean, I guess like kind of alludes to that as well. About the country.
Yeah. I was watching some interviews and they were talking about how it's supposed to be how everyone's exploited, supposedly in Serbia, and sort of dangers of authority and sort of corruption of Serbian government.
Right.
Which is...
Didn't get that.
It's difficult, yeah, because, I mean, first, I don't know anything about Serbian history or politics, but I don't know, they seem quite sincere about it, but the thing is, I feel that if you didn't know that going in, that's like...
I mean, there's a few lines in the film that made me think, not necessarily, not too deeply about it, but like, you know, when they would say something about like giving him a second chance, and he says in Serbia, like, as if it's like this, you know, there's a couple of lines like that.
There's a few throwaway references.
Yeah, referring to the country as in a way that would imply that, you know, what's happening isn't usual, or, you know, a certain commentary on the country. But I didn't, obviously not knowing much about Serbia, didn't get anything really from that side of it. I
think the themes of sort of corrupt authority is kind of in the film, but it's so broad that it can't really have any relevance to Serbia itself for me. It's just like it could refer to any kind of corrupt authoritarian government or whatever. And I think that's kind of the Vukmir character kind of represents that. There's one kind of big speech he's got where he talks about this country as a kindergarten. He says something, we've been disowned by our parents or something like that.
Like basically abandoned by a
parent. Yeah. So this is his motivation for the creation of newborn porn.
Oh, man, I was just going to bring that up. Right. Like, I was going to say, don't listen to this guy any of his speeches.
Right.
He's like, actually, I thought he was joking when he said it, because like he shows the video to Milos, and like, I thought it was just one of the things he's filmed, right? And then he's like, because that doesn't seem to be the idea necessarily behind the rest of the film that he's trying to shoot with Milos, right necessarily. Maybe that's what he's building towards or whatever, but it didn't seem that way at the time. But then he's like shouting it, like, newborn porn. Oh, that does rhyme a wee bit, I guess. He's trying, the boys had a good idea. I can see it in the posters, you know. What did you think of that scene? Like, I know we're in the rare position to have seen baby rape before in a film.
Oh yes,
at least once. I mean, my only other time. I don't know about you, Gary. I mean, I'm not saying there's newborn porn in your internet history, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But how do you think that this compares to the Vomit Gore trilogy? That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's probably more effective in this.
I'd say so.
Just because it's so obviously a doll.
Yeah, like the part in the Vomit Gore trilogy when he's actually getting the baby out of the pregnant woman, that's more effective than the... Because you kind of know as soon as Hank comes in that he's going to end up spewing in it anyway. So it's like you know what I mean? So that gets kind of... Like, I mean, I think we said it got kind of ridiculous at that point. Lost its impact. But I think this worked a wee bit better, I think. Yeah.
I've got to say, I'd heard about the scene before I saw the film.
I didn't. I knew there was like paedophilia tones. Right. I didn't know in what way it was going to manifest. If you know what I mean.
And watching it for the first time, I was slightly let down. Like, I thought it was going to be way more extreme than that.
I didn't think it was. I wasn't like sitting there going, yeah, go for it. But it might surprise you. What did you say?
Gate Laldy.
You saw him outside my house. No, but I was kind of thinking, I was finding it uncomfortable to watch, but I was surprised, not surprised, but didn't really show it wasn't very explicit, I guess,
Yeah.
as you're saying.
The sound is maybe the most, which makes it the most kind of,
Yeah.
gives it a more uneasy edge. It's a difficult one because I think we're kind of, with any of these films, we're kind of conditioned to not be that shocked by it. Probably a mainstream audience would be
Pretty
probably
shocked.
pretty shocked by that.
Again, like, we talked about that with Antichrist. I think, to me, this was more shocking, those scenes, than like necessarily the scenes in Antichrist, right?
Okay.
Because I guess they were happening between adults, and like, one of them's actually self-inflicted, so I guess that was less. It's not less shocking. It's just less disturbing, I guess. Maybe I'm not sure quite what I mean, but this is definitely more controversial.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, this would definitely be like, I don't think this is anything much like the kind of Vomit Gore trilogy. I think this is definitely over the line.
Yeah.
For most mainstream audience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of fun because coming like to the title, you know, Antichrist, Vomit Gore trilogy, Scream, like, don't watch me if you don't like, you know, weird shit and stuff like that, you know. But a Serbian film, you know, it could be a tourist information film. You know what I mean? It could. Yeah. It's quite funny, you know, the title.
Yeah. It's a funny thing to say because so you can say, "Oh, I watched a Serbian film." Oh yeah, what one? That's it.
But I mean, I've got to admit, before we started speaking about it and things, I'd heard about it. I saw the film title, didn't know anything about it though, and I mean, I wouldn't have necessarily thought this was what I was going for at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then knowing what it was about, I guess I was expecting it to be worse, almost. You know what I mean? But coming back to the kind of the baby scene and stuff like that, I thought it was a wee bit creepy when the mother starts smiling.
Yeah.
So kind of after that, we have Milos firing away, like running out of Vukmir's office, with Vukmir shouting newborn porn to him, and it echoes in his head when he's driving as well. Which I thought was quite interesting because we just heard it. Milos seems kind of manic. Yeah, you would say, wouldn't you? And then the doctor comes out at the traffic lights, starts giving him a wee tug. He's a go at her chest, you know. Pretty hot. And then like all of a sudden things just like go black and we wake up with him. What do you think of that? What do you think of that plot device? I know it's not terribly original, but what did you think of it in this film? Did you expect it?
I don't know what I expected. I guess, but
I didn't expect it with the way the film was going.
Yeah,
up to that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to turn your protagonist, who's who you're with for the first part of the film, and turn them into like a kind of blank, manic animal. It kind of pulls you out the film a wee bit. It did with me, I felt, and it gets like his face, the way he changes, it comes a bit more. It's a bit silly, isn't it? Especially when he's like having sex with the woman chained to the bed. His face.
But it's kind of like the same as his porn face. It was quite ridiculous as well, I thought.
Aye.
He had a proper porn tash at one point, and one of the videos his brother was watching, which is weird again. Like watching your brother in porn while you're like getting a prostitute, because it seemed to be like, he said he hadn't had a female companion, so I don't know. Again, that dialogue's quite funny. It's like he's saying about how can he keep it so hard all the time and all this stuff, and she's like, honey, if you don't know, I ain't gonna tell you. It's like, you know what I mean? It's so ridiculous. Up to that point, even when he was driving away, I thought he was getting manic, and I thought there was something maybe like, you know how they were showing him the images of the wee girl when he was getting the blowjob. I wonder if there was more of that we were going to see having happened, maybe like more conditioning, and he was going to need to go back, like, and finish the film or something. You know what I mean? He just like he'd turn into this. I guess what he does turn into, but like I thought it was going to happen more of a kind of psychological conditioning rather than a pharmaceutical. I mean, they put the fucking guy on like cattle Viagra, like oh man. That when they said that and she brings him in when we see the flashback, He looks absolutely like. It does look ridiculous, but that first shot you see him with his black eyes, you look like, oh my god, what the hell is what they did to him?
Yeah.
That can't be safe, can it?
I wouldn't think so.
No, that guy that can like apparently pop a hard on just without looking at it,
Can.
without looking at nothing, and without touching it, and just like boink. Oh,
Aye.
there you go. See the bit where he's getting into training and he sits down to meditate.
Right.
There's a bit where you kind of see from almost his perspective, and it's his shadow of his. He sees his knee.
Right.
And you see his shadow kind of on the ground. It
Yeah.
looks up into the mirror. And I was waiting. I swear to God, I was waiting the camera panning back down and just seeing this fucking like baby's arm with an apple. You know, holding an apple right in the middle. In the shadow, I was thinking that's what he was doing. Because this is how I do it. You know. But no, it didn't happen. That'd have been quite good if that happened. I'd have been laughing.
Well, one thing that happens in the second half of the film as well. Vukmir becomes way more cartoonish, I feel. He starts off like fairly menacing, but then it kind of becomes. I was first gonna say like a Bond villain, but he's almost more like Dr. Evil or something.
Yeah,
like,
I guess. Yeah, see the fact that he's there like, in the second half of the film when they're shooting, whereas in the first half of the film he seems to be very kind of giving instruction.
Because he comes away with all these one-liners, like stuff like there's a scene where you had an older woman and the little girl and Milos and whatever. And then the scene he jumps out the window.
Oh, see that happened, man. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, oh my god, I'm watching an episode. I'm watching Evil Dead. That's what I thought. I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so. It's like one of those adverts they used to show for the. What was it? Time for a quick sharp harp. You know the beer. You know, just dive out the window, like he killed the dog or something like that, and he'd jump out the window. It just looks so comical. Sorry, as you go.
And then Vukmir turns to the camera and goes, "Our film just jumped out the window."
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I had to laugh there.
That was brilliant.
And then there's a scene when he's talking about is the monks who take all the male goats and put them in a shed or something in the summer.
Oh yeah.
And don't let them out till they start
shagging each other.
Yeah, and then what they do is they take the semen and it makes the best bread spread there is.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm old fashioned. I like butter or flour or that. Get what I mean? But goat comes just the same. I need to ask for that next time I'm in Dobies.
Yeah, and he goes, "Milos, you're my he-goat."
Man, I mean, it's good job that guy's drugged up at that point, because what would you say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's see. There's a scene. I guess it almost doesn't need to be in the film, except for like he's retracing his steps, right? When he's trying to remember what happened the night before, and he goes to the house where he dove out the window, which he handily spots from the glass being broken in the window, and he sees the little girl, like is it Jekka?
Oh, aye.
Or is that her name? I can't remember. Outside, and she kind of looks at him and then kind of walks away. Like I was kind of thinking, I was expecting something to happen.
Okay, right.
You know what I mean? To speak to her or something. You know what I mean? It seemed a bit kind of odd. You know, it just felt like a wee bit out of place.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the intention of that would be.
So like we see him eventually. He kind of traces back to Vukmir's like house, and he finds the tapes and stuff like that. I don't like, for some reason I don't like the bit where the guy's like, basically raping him. I didn't. It was a bit like I was all right. What did you think of that? I was like, what happens in a drug-addled sex rage stays in a drug-addled sex rage, you know? So pink and dark.
He was regretting punching him.
Was that the guy who punched?
Aye.
Well, then he deserved it, didn't he? No, but like, so he's watching back the tapes, and he obviously starts to piece together some of what's happened. What is it leading to the harbour, the warehouse? Does he just remember? Do we think?
I think so. Aye.
So when they get into this room, obviously he sees the dead bodies first, and then we see the flashback. So did you kind of get what was coming?
I think so. Yeah. Vukmir says, I have a suitable ending for you. And that's kind of
Aye.
where it's got to go. Right? He walks in, Vukmir says, a family home or something,
aye.
yeah.
But just reading the teeny bit, like, when the doctor comes in and basically gives him another shot of the old Viagra,
Right,
and then he gets her back, and I thought she was just dead at that. I was hoping, I was thinking, oh no, she's going to be pure raging for the sex, but I thought, oh no, she's dead. She's bubbling the mouth. That's you, isn't it? You're kaput.
Right.
And then later on, she comes in and she's got the is it like a nightstick or is it a dildo? I don't know. But and I'm thinking, oh my god,
Right.
she's pummeled herself to death. That's crazy. You know what I mean, that's not safe. You know. I did wonder why it was up about her boobs as well, though.
Right.
She was just getting it loudy. See, that's the scene that should have been in the film.
Right.
You know what I mean? So. So you saw it was coming. How did you feel about that? I was just.
I think I did know.
Oh, you knew about it,
but I think I might have. And again, it's a case of hear about it, and it's way more shocking than what it actually is in the film. I don't know, but by that point in the film, I don't think it's that shocking, and not even in terms of the graphicness of the image, but shocking in terms of, oh, this is how the story's going to end.
To be honest, when as soon as I knew it was going to happen, when he saw the two figures in the bed, I had my thoughts, and then he started like going at the bigger one, and I thought, oh, okay, that this could go one or two ways. You know what I mean? He's going to realise before or whatever, but I didn't know that was going to happen at all.
Right.
And I was kind of, oh my fucking god.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I can't believe they're doing this.
Right.
This is so odd. You know what I mean? But the bit that was thingy, it was quite, I thought it wasn't graphic, but it was very acted out.
Right.
The difficulty he was having. But then when the masked guy turns up next to him, starts going at his wife, or you find out his wife, and then you find out that's his brother. I'm like, oh, I knew that, but I mean, but after they started going the same rhythm, I think Vukmir even realised. Vukmir's like, oh my god. And then he took the mask off, and I was like, that's that dirty bastard, their brother getting what he wanted after all.
Yeah.
Swine. Be back to the bathroom, you cunt. He says. But I know I was quite shocked. Again, it wasn't too graphic or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't the easiest thing to watch, I guess, because I knew thingy, but. Nah, it was kind of like, oh my god. I did kind of give me pause for thought. Yeah. Not long after that, after kind of Vukmir realises, I guess that we should say even on his drug-addled sex rage, he wouldn't have sex with that wee lassie. You know, it's when they were offering her up to him. That was when he dove out the window. He's like, yeah. You know, I might be a sex rage, drug-addled person, but I'm not doing that. Aye. Swines. So I guess that seems to be like his big moral thing. You know, no kids kind of thing involved or seen or anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Except for letting his wee boy watch his porn tape, but sorry I left that out. You know. I was thinking at the beginning. Sorry, just get back. Like, his wife didn't seem that bothered. Right. He's like, oh, she'll leave the tapes out again. You know what I mean? We'll put him to bed and we'll watch them. He just turns them on when they're in bed watching him watch like shagging other birds in the films. Anyway, so after he realises what's happening, does he turn his brother first? No, he just dives on Vukmir, doesn't he? Yeah. He just starts smashing his head into the ground. That's quite good. Another classic line from Vukmir at that point as well. That's it, Milosh. That's the cinema. That's it. And then he gets attacked by the two heavies, and he shoots them a couple of times. Yeah. He goes back and forth, and then the big guy, the bald guy, comes. Man, talk about skull fuck. I mean, that was. I was like, oh my god. That wasn't like an, oh my god. This was like a, holy fuck. That's awesome. I never thought I would ever see that in a film. Yeah, you know what I mean, it is pretty novel. Like as soon as you see he's got like a dodgy eye, and you're thinking there's a lot to that, as if, and you're like, was that referred to earlier in the film or something? And they're like,
Mm.
oh no, I can't what's happening. Like, and not because I can't what's happening before it was happening, because he had it in there before I can't what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Just walloped it in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like a deadly weapon. It's, you know, holding a means taking out your sword.
Right.
Is it the pink machete? I've just made that up.
Yeah, another scene that's quite tongue-in-cheek. Well, it's humorous anyway, but I can't tell if stuff like that, are the filmmakers trying to make it tongue-in-cheek as a satire? Because it seems odd that if they were going completely serious, that they put in so much kind of funny stuff. But
I mean, I don't know. It's
I
mean, as it swings and roundabouts, because it's like one minute you're getting, oh my god, this guy's like unknowingly shagging his wee boy, right? To he's getting revenge on the guys who made him do that by fucking the guy's eye socket.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It just doesn't connect.
aye,
You know what I mean? You want like Bruce
Yeah.
Willis to dive in there and his white wife beater and, you know, say, no, you get the guns and you shoot them, you blow them up. You know, you want Charles Bronson for Death Wish, get in, this is
Yeah.
how you sort it, son. You know what I mean?
Aye, it's maybe, I don't know. The film is kind of muddled in that way because you think that's more like something you'd see in Fulci or something, like that kind of gore. Whereas the kind of first half of the film they're going for a more serious political thing.
Do you think it was a homage to Vulture with the eye impale? Even though there wasn't an eye in there.
Because a lot of people have drawn comparisons to Salo,
Right.
but it's similar political allusions about the corrupting factors of power.
It does seem
Definitely
very...
not as effective as Salo. Salo is it's way more successful in that front.
I mean, when we're talking about Fulci, I mean, we kind of said like a lot of his stuff he puts in is to like, just be like, look, what we can do, this is cool. You know,
Yeah.
this looks awesome. And that kind of is what they're... When they do that at the end of this film, it definitely feels like that. It's like, it doesn't feel like they're taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
You know? Luckily, up to that point, things have been kind of tongue-in-cheek before this point, you know what I mean? Not right then, but
Aye.
at the beginning of the film, and all through it, I guess, certain points. Because if that had been the only bit that was like that, you would have really been like... That would have... It would just have negated the film.
Yeah.
It would have been like, this is... It's like the end of Bay of Blood. You know, it would have been like, what's happening? But I think it kind of works, but it's not helpful that there's such heavy material in there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't quite fit together all that well.
Do you think that's they've been kind of like, oh, we're dealing with some heavy issues here, like this is really dark and stuff like that. We need to lighten it up a wee bit.
Yeah.
What if you get him to put his erection into this guy's eye socket? That's genius! Also have his brother like jerking off in the toilet, it's great. Oh yeah, and have him wearing what's those kind of wrestlers, the Mexican wrestler masks, like,
Right.
you know? I mean, it just seems like a total like... There was two writers, I think, wasn't there? Director and another guy.
Aye.
So it's obvious one of them's been writing a comedy and one of them's been writing like a dark horror.
Yeah, because one interview with the director I saw, he was talking about sort of influences, and he was talking about like how he loved like Friedkin, Peckinpah, sort of American 70s directors like who did like kind of hard-edged sort of realist, quite complex stories. But all that stuff doesn't really seem to fit with that camp.
I mean, even right up to the very end, right? Because it gets kind of serious again when at the end, and like Milos just kind of obviously. I mean, I've got to admit, I thought the wee boy was dead.
Right.
Like when I saw it, I thought like when he was on the bed, I thought that's what they were. You know, he was dead. And then when he punches the wife out, I thought she was dead as well, because you see them in the back of the car and they look pretty beat up, and he puts him in the basement. It looks like I thought they were dead. So when he goes back at the end of there, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then, you know, he goes over to them, and I wasn't quite sure whether she was going to go rage at him again, or like, but yeah, cuddles them, whatever. So when they let, you know, they're obviously decided they're going to do with other souls, and then the last line is the film crew are there filming just after they've killed themselves. And the guy starts undoing his trousers, and they get the main guy in the middle goes, right, start with the wee one.
Right.
I mean, that there tells me that this. I wrote down that's pretty fucked up, right? But it's that there tells me this. It's not serious. I don't think they're being serious.
Who?
The filmmakers.
Really?
To me, that's like a bit kind of.
What? I don't know, because I've seen quite a few directors. I mean, I saw quite a few interviews with them, and they're like straight. They're like, it's not like it would be a lot to keep
maybe
spewing that line if it was just a joke, but
maybe it's just a cultural difference, and it's maybe that. But to me, that like that along with the eye thing really says to me like, I don't know.
I think they would probably say
like that feels like the end of a Quentin Tarantino film. You know when you know what I mean. That feels like that, and it just cuts, and you're like, oh, he's fucking taking the piss into like that's good, that's clever. But like, I just was like.
Yeah, maybe it was just the way it was executed. It was too comic. 'Cause I think they're trying to say, this is what it's like to live in Serbia. It makes the reaction to the film kind of silly. Are you not getting this? It's funny. No, But
I definitely does. I mean, there's quite a lot. There's not a few scenes. There's a lot of scenes in the film that you just like, and the fact that it doesn't go mega explicit with the scenes that there are that are quite heavy topics. You know, it doesn't go too dark with them necessarily. Says to me that it's lighter than it tries to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they certainly lightened up the topics. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely, thinking back on it, I definitely think of it as a kind of quite tongue in cheek film. Whereas I say, I was expecting a much more violent and kind of serious film.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably would have been a bit more interesting if I just kept the lid on that a wee bit more.
But I think that's why you're saying, you know, you don't. Thinking back on it, you're like, I didn't really like that, but then you watch it and you enjoy it well enough because it is funny,
maybe,
and it's kind of fun in parts, and it's not like the parts that you're not going to maybe take offence to the same parts that mainstream audience would take offence to. So as long as you're not being offended by those, the other parts are kind of inoffensive and kind of keep you engaged enough. You know, like, that's quite funny. Like, you know, looking for those one-liners from Vukmir. You know, it's like, I mean, there's loads of stuff. I mean, again, maybe it is a cultural thing, but right down to the you know, Milos the filthy stud.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just like,
yeah.
I don't know. But it definitely goes from one extreme to another. You know, like getting your comedy and then goes to really a serious tone. But then the fact that there was such a comedic or tongue-in-cheek tone just before it, you're like, and then just after it, you're like almost unaffected by the darker stuff.
Yeah.
In the long run, if you know what I mean.
How do you think it rates in the extreme canon?
I'd say it is up there with like the scenes, as like the shock value for me. The stuff I've seen, there were probably, I don't know, it's hard to say. There was a couple of things in this that I actually was like, oh, that's kind of shocked me a wee bit, or like, you know, it was harder to watch. This is hard because I mean, I'd say the most extreme imagery I think I've seen was the Vomit Gore trilogy, and I didn't that because that was played more voyeuristically and real. That didn't feel. You know, and there's certain scenes that didn't quite feel like reality. I think what's implied is worse than what you actually see in the film.
Yeah.
I don't know. It definitely doesn't deserve anything like what I mean, the cuts and stuff like that. I don't think.
Aye. I mean, there's a guy, Mr. Parker.
Right.
Is it this generation's Cannibal Holocaust?
Right.
I think definitely in terms of the reaction to the film, the kind of crazy cuts and bands. I haven't really seen that widespread for any film, I don't think. Recently.
I definitely don't think it ranks when you think of it that way. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Things that like are banned and like, you know, you say the reaction to Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say there was. I was going to say that some of the imagery in Cannibal Holocaust was harder to watch than some of the stuff in this,
Right.
because there's a more serious tone in that. But then even that, the stuff in that, you still know, because of its like low budget roots and stuff like that. But don't know what.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's a wee bit more disturbing than Cannibal Holocaust.
I think just because of the actual issues it's dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, the actual subject matter. It's hard to judge because of the, as I say, because of the like lighter tone of some of it.
Aye, but I mean, I think Cannibal Holocaust is a much better film. I mean, they're similar. They're political.
That actually gets its message across.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking got it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even though my view on Cannibal Holocaust is that the point is made better in the form of the film rather than the actual the way it puts across its themes through its plot. But definitely up there.
I mean, it was fairly enjoyable, if you know what I mean. But as I say, for being quite a low budget film, it was fairly well executed. But no, I mean, there's definitely, I think there's definitely been worse films that are more worthy of a reaction that people have had to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess the whole thing, it's like, I mean, if Antichrist can have like a revolution against it based on someone telling them what's in it, and you just say, like, when someone tells you this happens in it, that's your mind, like, people's minds automatically are biased against it. What, they've made a film that has baby rape in it?
Right.
That's like,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely what you would take away from it is the ideas of the
newborn porn. No, that's what you take away from it.
Yeah, the ideas of the,
even if it comes to like fucking a guy's eyeballs, little socket, no newborn porn. No, stop. And the guy has to let you do it.
Right.
For it to be right.
Yeah. What I'd probably take away from it is that the ideas of what's in the film are more shocking than how it actually portrays it.
Definitely.
It's not really up there with like Irreversible.
No,
which,
no,
way
that's far
more.
more. That's actually that scene is hard to watch Irreversible. Where these were like disturbing scenes at time. You know, when the thought of what was going to happen, rather than what we were actually seeing. But yeah, no, it's definitely not up there at all with that.
Overall, I think it's a pretty decent film. It has some grand ideas. I think it kind of
get lost. I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting effort. I think a lot of them are just too broad. The major ideas are just too broad to kind of really to get across.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the kind of second tier themes are kind of muddled, and there's a lot of things in there like the Alice in Wonderland reference. I don't really know what that is.
Yeah, again, you feel that they're going to go somewhere with that.
Yeah,
you know, the whole setup, but we don't get to see that because of the skipping time and stuff. Which again feels like maybe there's been like kind of rewrite at some point where they've been like, right, we need an ending to this film.
Right.
How can we, you know, they maybe went so far down the rabbit hole, if you will.
Yeah.
And then kind of realised like we're not going anywhere here. So. And someone's scribbling a bit of paper and writes newborn porn and they've got a whole new ending. You know what I mean? That's the way these things happen.
Yeah.
What are you writing there, Rab? You're one sick bastard, so you're... Oh, yes, it. It's a pretty fucked up film with the ideas that are in it. I think overall though, some of the power of the and the weight behind a lot of the issues and the themes of the film is kind of lost through its execution, I think. Fortunately, still a fairly enjoyable film. Yeah, definitely, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. So obviously, we're saying about this is quite a heavily cut film for like a modern.
Yeah, I mean, the BBFC are saying, they say clearly in this these notes that no scene is in clear breach of the Protection of Children Act. But that the reason they cut it so much is due to how the juxtaposition of the sexual violence with images of children. I can understand them if they believe that it's in violation of the law, then they kind of have to. That's what they're there for.
Sure.
In a way, they're really there to protect distributors from prosecution. It's annoying. They feel that it doesn't breach the law, but they still feel they have to cut it on the more dubious forum of that it's harm, the sort of eroticisation of sexual violence and all that shit.
They're cutting on the basis of the sexual violence, i.e. to the woman that gets her head cut off, or the guy that gets his eye chugged, or
yeah,
more than the child protection stuff.
Aye.
I'd say that. Well, I mean, I'd say that the scenes with the children are more disturbing than. I mean, we've seen folk getting hacked up before. Is that no? Am I picking that up wrong?
Sorry.
Like, we've seen people getting having sex and getting hacked up before.
Well, yeah, that seemed a pretty standard gore movie.
They do that in the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
There was some. I mean, that's if you're guaranteed a 2000 Friday the 13th movie, as I found out when I was in my early teens, and that's the only reason I watched them all. You know what I mean? You get some boobs and you get a knife through somebody.
Right.
Sometimes at the same time if you're lucky. You know what I mean? It gets odd in the one.
Aye. Yeah. I mean, they note the fact that the director has made a deliberate attempt to not expose the children in the scenes because it's clearly they're not happening at the same time.
Yeah.
They acknowledge it, but then they say the juxtaposition of images of children with sexual and sexually violent material is a breach of BBFC policy and guidelines.
Right. So it's more.
Nah.
I guess. I mean, as you say, they can see what they're saying if they're having to do it for the law. But
Yeah.
the animal cruelty thing, you can understand
Aye.
that if that's the law in this country.
Yeah.
There's very little we can do about that. I mean, you could argue that you're still going to get it from other countries, whatever. But you can still understand that. But if they don't feel that any law has been broken, then
yeah,
that feels like we're going to do this before anyone tells us to do it. You know, before there's an outcry. But I mean, really, the fact that the film's released in the country at all. I mean, have you seen the cut version?
I'm not sure if I might have.
I mean, it's 99
know.
minutes in the UK. It's
Aye.
cut. I think it's cut about five minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes
something.
something. So I mean, that's quite a bit to be cut.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the tones still have to be there, surely. So I would think it still would be maybe not be as disturbing. Maybe the whole.
Yeah, I think they said they tried to make it was still a disturbing film even with what they'd cut, but yeah, I think we need to get rid of that. The harm ideas. Can't believe that's still a guideline. But
There you go.
so we're stuck with it. But get the uncut version.
That's it. Easy enough. There's a CDR out in the States. A video disc.
Oh, aye.
Oofed. Cool. Well, that's done for a Serbian
I
film.
think it is.
Would you recommend this film to people, Gary?
I would recommend it to if you're into
Yeah.
more
okay.
extreme stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
If anyone's got any thoughts on it, feel free to hit us up on Facebook or whatever, or by email. Throw those out at the end of the pod, the email address and the Facebook. Same goes for any of the films we're up for discussion. You know, maybe you think we're talking bullshit and we're wrong
maybe
about
do.
things. I mean, I'm often talking bullshit and found to be wrong. But yeah, so there you go. Cool. So, moving on, Gary. Time for random shit. You've still not got a theme tune for me.
No.
No, what have you been doing, Gary? You've just been sitting in your hands. So, Gary, you got any pickups this week?
I've got none this week. And it's a 3 week period. I've not been buying anything.
That's poor, mate.
Aye.
Stuff in the mail.
I've got some stuff on the way, aye.
Oh, it's just had state of affairs.
It's
Steve, I couldn't do that at all.
right.
No. I have to get stuff. I'm
I know.
I'm hooked now.
Yeah.
I'm almost at 200 Blu-rays.
Are you?
Aye. I mean, that might not sound a lot to a lot of people, but before we started this podcast, I think I maybe had like 50 if I was lucky.
Is that right?
So it's really spurred me on. So there you go. Anyway, I do have some pickups.
Right.
I've got a kind of mini mega haul. It was kind of my birthday. In between time, so I had some stuff that I'd bought already and got some birthday stuff. So I picked up Evil Dead 2
All right.
on Blu-ray, 25th anniversary edition. It was re-released apparently at a rubbish transfer.
Right, aye.
But it was already released in the UK, that same version, the rubbish transfer, but it wasn't re-released here.
Okay.
So it looks pretty good actually.
Right.
Nice special features, things like that on it. I picked this up for £4. Stakeland.
Right.
Heard of it? No.
No.
I take it they're trying to capitalise on the Zombieland title,
Right.
but it's a kind of indie film, like vampire flick. But apparently, it says it takes itself a little seriously. I've heard that, but it's got fairly good reviews for its kind of characterization, stuff like that. Shot in the red camera system. So I'm quite interested. I've not actually watched it yet, but I'm quite interested to see it. Apparently, it's all right. And I thought £4 is worth a punt. You know, Gary, a punt. Right, what else we got in my bag of tricks, Gary? Oh, Batman the movie,
All right.
the 66 version, the American one. I've been waiting to get that for a while since I got my Region A Blu-ray player because I like the artwork better.
All right.
I like that. It's nice.
I thought you were going to say it take bonus stuff there.
Oh, you though. I saw your email. I was like, what's wrong with him? He's looking as if he's going to take that off me. No, I think it's the same bonus things. But it does look pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
No Blu-ray. But I like the American artwork better.
All right.
So I held out for that. What else have I got? Oh, House of a Thousand Corpses. Rob Zombie film. I watched that. It's pretty good. That's really good transfer. I'm just going to give you a loan at some point.
Right.
Check it out, man. You seen any of Rob Zombie's films?
I've seen most of Halloween.
You said that.
So I think, yeah.
I mean, I liked Halloween, the remake, but don't know, what did you think of it?
I think it was alright. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big original Halloween fan, but like tends to be like people who don't really like it. But
Yeah.
I get what they're saying about sacrilege touching it and stuff like that, but I don't know. I quite liked it. Speaking of which, I picked up the 2-disc unrated collection of Rob Zombie's Halloween,
Alright.
which is actually the reason that I ever wanted a multi-region Blu-ray player, because this was only released in the States, and I always wanted this because it's got like a 4.5 hour making of a documentary, which seems excessive, but apparently it covers every stage of development, in production and stuff like that. So I couldn't wait to get that one to get my multi-region Blu-ray player. So that was a nice one. What else have we got? Kind of spurred on with your you got Nightmare on Elm Street.
Aye.
Well, I got the Nightmare on Street collection.
Alright, yeah.
Which is actually pretty decent. The first one's on the first disc, and it's a 5-disc set, so the other ones are split.
Okay.
And the 5th disc's like 3 hours worth of bonus features and things like that. But they're all 50 gig discs, so you're getting like the movie still on a 25 gig disc, and each of those have got own special features and things like that. So they look pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the age of the film and the fact that after the first one they kind of didn't really bother with them much, they weren't big budget films really. It's a fairly decent set.
How did the films progress during the series?
Well, 2 is kind of pretty much universally panned. It was not. I mean, they accredited it to him, but it was a gay director who directed it. So there's a lot of kind of like homo erotic themes within the film, which seemed kind of weird at first, but it's got its place. It's nowhere near as good as the original, but it's a different way to go with it. I'd say it's probably the most unique out of the rest of them. 3's pretty good. It was written by Wes Craven again. He was actually meant to come back and direct it. And Nancy's back in it. Kirsten Arquette stars in it. Actually, and Lawrence Fishburne's in it as well. 4's alright. 5's alright. 6 Freddy's Dead. It's pretty funny.
Right. Okay.
3D finale. No, not in Blu-ray, unfortunately. And West Comes the Nightmare. You not seen that?
I have seen that actually.
Yeah, it's alright. It's okay. Kind of precursor to Scream, but they're alright. I mean, they're worth a.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 25 quid.
So not Freddy versus Jason.
It doesn't have that. No, I don't even have that in Blu-ray.
Right.
I also picked up this Pinocchio.
Oh, you got that one, yeah.
Slipcover and all.
Right.
I was happy when I got that, Gary. I was happy.
Yeah.
14 quid, not bad.
Was it?
Aye, it's alright. That's how much you'd pay for the slipcover. That's the 70th anniversary Platinum Edition.
Right.
As they've re-released it in a kind of bare bones.
Yeah,
No, not bare
right.
bones. There's still special features on it, but yeah, I was pretty happy to get that one. That's one I've been trying to get for a while. What else have I got here? I picked up Jaws on Blu-ray. Steelbook. Nice. Don't you look?
I'll take a look at that.
There's a tiny dot there, right?
Oh,
It's in the paintwork.
right.
It's not a mark or anything like that I can see of. But you know me, so I contacted Amazon
Yeah.
and said, like, you know, give me a replacement, it's fine. So they sent me a replacement, which was fine, until I actually got to my house and the box that sent it in was more or less shredded. Right now, the box, the steelbook was more or less intact, but just above where the A is in the jaws, there was this like wee black kind of like arrow, like almost looking thing. And when you turn it, it was a dent. It was right enough a dent. So I tried to, I thanked them to return it, and they were out of stock. They've run out of them.
I noticed that the other day.
So
it's crazy.
So they
Already.
don't have any more. And I've got two of them, but one of them's got this tiny wee dent above the A.
Right.
I mean, you would be welcome to it, but you'd have to pay the full price. But that's up to yourself. Because they'll charge me if I don't return it again.
Is it just a stock issue? It's not like
I don't know.
a print issue.
It might be, but the way that it was looking was as if that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to be limited edition.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be right,
Dunno.
but I thought I'll just keep that one then. You know.
Yeah.
I'm planning to get the digibook. I think when it comes out.
There's
anyway.
always that as well if you can't
Yeah.
get the steelbook, which is not a bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Alternative,
But the steelbook's pretty nice. The inner artwork's kind of cool with the girl, stuff like that. And as I said to you, that looks and sounds absolutely amazing. I mean, I got a 4.5 picture quality on Blu-ray.com, but I mean, I don't really know where they've found any fault with it.
Right.
I think said there was some kind of ghosting almost from, like, you know, they use some of the when they're correcting some of the scratches that they couldn't take out in the wet gate process, they took a frame behind or after to kind of patch up. And apparently there's maybe something, but I mean nothing that I detected, certainly. I'd say it looks absolutely stunning. I couldn't believe how good it looked, to be honest. So that was good. Pick up. Had to wait for quite a week and a half for that after the release date though, remember?
Oh,
I
yeah.
sent you. So I don't have these ones with me. I picked up a DVD. It's a documentary on the original Halloween. It's called Halloween Inside Story. It's done by the Bio channel.
Alright.
Right. I didn't even know it existed, but I was just searching for stuff and it was only $5.99, so I picked it up. It's like an hour and a half documentary. It's pretty good. Like, I've got a few documentaries on the whole series. This just explicitly focuses on Halloween. It's quite good. It's really interesting. I'm a big fan. I know a lot about the series and stuff like that, but there was stuff in it that I didn't even know.
Alright.
So it's quite interesting. Definitely suggest if you're a fan of Halloween checking that out. Picked up the Godfather box set.
Alright.
Had a wee look at that. That looks really good. Picked up Hellraiser
Okay.
on Blu-ray. Been trying to get that for a while. It's out of print in the UK now, so I managed to get it for a decent price. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Picked it up for the UK. It's the theatrical version. I didn't really like that film that much, but I want to get the unrated director's cut from the States, which is apparently a wee bit better. But I didn't want to have one without having another, so I just got the UK one as well. I think I got it for like £3 for Play. It was pre-owned, but it was fine. So yeah, sorry. What else? Black Swan, got that in Blu-ray. That was a steal. Got it for £4.
Yeah.
Sainsbury's, good boys, Sainsbury's. It's the only one that was half decent, but I got Dario Argento's Phenomena. Got that for my wife for my birthday. The Arrow video release.
Right.
And I got Suspiria from you for my birthday.
There you go,
I'll be
double feature.
expecting something
Argento.
fucking back for his birthday now. Swine. I think I've got that kind of money, Gary. I've got to buy it myself. Let's see if you're about to sell something. You had something to show for it. And I think that's it. It's quite a lot. Isn't
That's
it?
a lot.
Aye. I need to get them watched. Sorry, that was a wee bit kind of protracted pickups. I was getting into a bit of depth and stuff, but I'm sure Gary will cut around about it like
Right.
a genius. Can I have my Jaws Blu-ray back there, Gary? If I
Can.
steal it, yes, fine.
Well, I'll hang
No!
on top of it.
Any news, Gary?
I've got some Blu-ray release news I was going
Right.
to talk about.
Awesome. Fuck off. What are you doing? Laughing at me, it's fine. Oh, fucking-
Well, I was just going to mention the Night of the Living Dead Twilight Time
oh,
release.
right, aye, I had the 1990.
Due for
remake.
release on October 9th, I believe,
Right.
but already sold out.
Yeah, as I say, I had
We talked about Twilight Time
in their limited
uh,
editions.
a while back, 3,000 copies.
Bet they wishing they'd made a few more copies, eh?
I bet they are. Although I wonder if the people know it's a 1991.
That is
Or
true.
do they
Ah,
think
that's
that? 'Cause
true.
It does say George Romero's.
Well, that I mean, that
Yeah.
is the title, you know,
Aye.
because they did call it that because it was him who wrote it in
Yeah,
his script and stuff. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
aye.
It is a bit misleading, and it's
You know,
not
it's-
using artwork from either. You know the
Right,
you know
aye.
the artwork for the
Yeah.
Blu-ray. It's actually shitty artwork, to be honest. That was actually what put me off it, to be honest.
Aye.
Because I did see that there wasn't many copies left. There's about 500 left when I last checked.
Yeah.
But I looked and no special features, and I think it was, how much was it? Was it like
I remember I got the big heat
Mm-hmm.
was like 20, and then yeah, shipping
$20 or £20?
£5.
Flying shite. You know what I mean? For no special features. And
Yeah.
shitty artwork.
Trailer. And it came with a magnet, a fridge magnet.
Sorry, wait a minute. Hold on, pause. I thought it was like in the late 90s. You consider a trailer a special feature? Was it the original trailer? Was it remastered in high def?
I think so.
Was it? Oh, well,
Aye.
that's fair enough then.
Yeah, it wasn't something I was going to buy, but it's just I thought I couldn't believe it. I saw that on the internet last night. It's no very. If it's going to sell it that quick, I mean the 3,000 seems no very customer friendly again. But there you go. Hopefully it's no scalpers hoovering them all up.
Man, you know what will be.
Uh,
Aye.
yeah. Seems that those horror titles seem the most popular. The Fright Night one sold out as well. I think that's the only one to sell out. But
I think those are the more known titles.
Yeah.
The more mainstream titles, I think. And what else would it
maybe.
be?
I thought the Big Heat. That's still
I know
sold
you
out.
mean.
It's
I
been
get
out for a while.
But I mean, let's think like Fright Night and Night of the Living Dead are kind of more known to the
guess-
general.
Guess
People
your
are
horror
maybe
fans are more maybe dedicated.
like,
It's a specific target audience rather than like a film noir.
yeah,
or-
so, I get what you're saying. There's people who would put that out, money out for that
Yeah.
title, no matter what it was coming out with, kind of thing. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But it does seem kind of like they're cutting their noses off to spite their faces a wee bit
Yeah.
with this, that 3,000. Should do like a kind of further limited run of like 1,000 or like 500 just to see if they sell out, and just keep doing it. And don't call it a limited edition, just call it a
edition.
edition.
Also, Criterion's December lineup was announced last week. One interesting film that we talked about was Christopher Nolan's Falling.
Yeah,
It's getting a Blu-ray release. This is one that Criterion had in the works for years.
Right,
Like
aye.
it's been known like that they'd been planning to put it out, but I think it was just a case of Nolan was too busy to oversee it
Sure.
until now. So he's finally checked it out and said
So
that's fine.
He go out the back cave and says that's all right.
Yep.
No, I'm glad, as I said, like, I almost got the region to DVD like, a couple of times. It's like £15, but because it's like, I think is it out of print now, or I don't know, but like it's a little more expensive than your normal DVD anyway. But I kept holding off, so I'm quite glad now because this will be one that I'll definitely pick up.
Yeah.
I think.
But one of my more favourite of his films, not necessarily his best, up there with his best work, but I like it a lot.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
some Kino titles as well for December. One thing I'm quite happy about was the announcement of Buster Keaton. They're releasing all their, I think it's 14 like single Blu-rays they'd put out,
Alright.
all in a box set. Which is quite good because I'd kind of wanted to pick them up, start buying some of the Blu-rays, but it's quite a lot of them. Now you get them in one handy package.
How much are they taking for that?
It was £180, I believe,
Right.
but you can pre-order it for half price on import CDs,
Right.
so it's quite good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably hold off. No get it anytime soon, but
It's good to know it's coming.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some other stuff as well. Some Mario Bava titles they're putting out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can't remember what ones.
That's handy.
Black Sunday maybe.
Right, Mm-hmm.
Um.
I'd be quite interested to see some of his stuff before Bear Blood, because apparently, I mean, partly Bear Blood was meant to be really good, so
Aye.
but apparently some of his other stuff's even better.
Mhm.
Interesting to check out.
Another just a wee tip that it came out that Master Cinema gonna do a version of Fear and Desire, as well as Kino's version.
Oh, right.
Aye.
Right.
They kind of just threw that out there. It's going to have the Seafarers as well, but they haven't said about the other shots, but it's unlikely, I think, at this point.
Right.
So that's good. I'll probably get the Master Cinema rather than the Kino now.
Do you want to mention a bit about the Hitchcock box set?
Could do.
The delays and
Yeah,
stuff.
I've not spoken about that for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Because I mean, there might be some people that don't know about it. I guess
Right.
anyone maybe who's following it would know, but same goes for most of our news.
Right.
So this guy from Masters used to work for Master Cinema.
Yeah, Nick Wrigley.
That's one.
Yeah.
Got some review copies
Mm.
of the Hitchcock Masterpiece box set, and he basically says that a lot of them were shiters. Specifically like The Birds, I think Frenzy.
Yeah.
And
Torn Curtain was a bad one.
I mean, we're not just talking bad transfers here, aren't we? I mean, some of them were had been restored, but like things like the credits had been messed about with.
Yeah.
Different fonts and crew members' names misspelt, things like that. Just kind of the ridiculous errors, really,
Aye.
for like the kind of level that this should be. I mean, for Universal to release Jaws in such a spectacular edition. Actually, that's I think I was surprised Jaws didn't have like a director's commentary. I'd have been quite interested.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he doesn't do commentaries
no,
though,
I
at
know,
all, does he?
But you think with them going to that thing, they'd say, "Come on, Stephen,
Well,
come on." You know what I mean? But I was hoping. I would guess I was just hoping that they would maybe put one out. I know there wasn't one of the DVDs of that. Anyway, so like I mean, I'd say that the Hitchcock films were. I wouldn't say more high profile than Jaws, but as equal as can be, I would say. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In most people's minds.
Mhm.
And I mean, that restoration like the Cycle got was
Yeah.
pretty stellar.
Mhm.
So you'd think they would, maybe, I don't know, gave it to the folks' big brothers that they gave it to.
Right.
Get what I mean? It's like, no, pal, here, give me that. Give that to
Aye.
your dad. You know what I mean? To like have a wee go at it.
Yeah, it looks like it's a case of I think they maybe had planned the bigger titles to come out, and then they thought, we could Christmas, we're going to do a box set, we'll just rush this through.
I mean, we said that like early on in one of the episodes in the podcast that we didn't think it
Aye.
would be coming very soon. This box
Yeah.
set, we thought it would be a couple of years off at least, and then it gets announced.
Aye.
And as I said to you, like we should have really been smelling a rat. You know
Maybe,
what I mean? But there's maybe some light at the end of the tunnel. The kind of recent news is
That it's been delayed a month. We still
Yeah.
don't know what they're going to do. I think
Yeah.
they did reply to someone in an email saying they're definitely fixing the
Credits.
credits and that.
To be honest, I mean, I could almost put up with the shitty transfers if the credits were alright, but as you say, like, if it's the case of DNR, which it seems to be, like, on things like The Birds, I mean, the guy, the quote was from the guy, like, it's as if the software's kind of struggling with the DNR and it
Right,
freezes
aye.
the grains at points and things. As I said to you, just turn it off, just take that plug-in out,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Re-render it.
I'm still on board with it. I've still got my
Aye,
pre-order in place. It came down to a pretty good price in Zavi.
Don't tell folk about that,
No.
Gary. I could tell it. Cut that out, Gary.
Aye. Okay, so
Cut that out, Gary, if you're listening. Aye.
I think most of it is pretty decent to good, to really
Yes, aye. I mean,
in terms of,
as you say, to be fair, like even at the price that we're talking about, it's still a good buy for the, you know, if you're getting 10, almost 10 titles for are going to be good, and if they correct the credits issues, it'd be worth it. I feel like with Rob with like the birds and stuff like that, 'cause it's something I was quite hoping for a nice restoration. But you think titles like that they would really give a look to, you know. But hey ho, it's been put back. They might do more than the credits.
Yeah, they
might do. Be nice if they did. But I think I'll probably be waiting. I'll see how it goes. If the price comes down anymore, or if things change, I might get it. But worst case scenario, I'll just wait to see what the reviews say.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's maybe a safer bet at the moment. Anything else, Gary? Anything news wise?
Did you see that Tarantino box set? It's coming out.
Aye, I saw that announced for a while. Is it the one, the XX one?
Aye.
Yeah, is it in the States?
Think so. Aye.
Yeah, I saw that.
Interested in that at all?
I looked at it because I don't have any of his films on Blu-ray.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have any of them. I guess what put me off a wee bit was the discs. That's stupid, right? The discs are like not like the films are redesigned.
Oh right.
And with the artwork of the box set, I'm kind of like, that's a wee bit annoying, isn't it? Just have them proper, you know, like discs. And it doesn't have to even be the ones that are in the individual editions, but you know, are all of his films available on Blu-ray already?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what the transfer's like. I know Pulp Fiction was meant to be pretty decent, but in Reservoir Dogs,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So Kill Bill got pretty much vanilla releases. I think they only had had some documentary on it. I think nothing major.
Yeah,
I think it was to do with the music and stuff like that. Does he do any commentaries in the other two? On Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction? There's a commentary in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, I think it's not a pure commentary though. I think it's cut together from interviews and stuff. But
that would be nice because I always went to buy Kill Bill because I know you say it wasn't one of your favourites of his, but I quite like it, and I would like to director's commentary and things like that. I've always wanted, even since it came out on DVD, like a combined version. You know, it was meant to be one film.
Right.
I think that'd be quite good to get that in Blu-ray.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Tarantino, get done, big boy, or Miramax, whoever owns it now.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in some of the new extras, but
so is there going to be new stuff on?
Aye, yeah,
right,
like retrospectives of his career and
I mean that
other filmmakers talking about him.
Right.
Most of the films I'm not bothered about owning really. I kind of grew a bit tired with Tarantino since after kind of Jackie Brown.
You don't like Jackie Brown?
No, I liked it.
Oh,
after that, yeah, I just find him a bit. He hasn't really evolved as a filmmaker.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I still kind of like his stuff. I mean, I've enjoyed Kill Bill and what's his name? I've not seen Glorious Bastards yet, but I've got that. Check out.
Great. Death Proof.
I quite liked that.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. But I kind of get it. Seems like he's trying different stuff. You know what I mean? He kind of had his own genre, with Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown. Was quite a kind of, I don't know. It was just very Tarantino-esque, right? You know, it was just this kind of thing. And then like with Kill Bill and stuff like that, he was trying to do other stuff.
It seems like he these days just moves through every genre. All right, I'm going to do a war movie, and I'm going to do a western.
I kind of understand why you get a reservation about that, but I quite like that. I like seeing what kind of spin he puts on it. Tarantino's type style.
For me, the only spin he puts on it says, "Look at all these films I know."
I can understand that, but for me, it's they're kind of gateway movies. Then you know, to be able to say, right, so you know, I'm seeing Kill Bill, so like where you know the influences are,
right,
and you know you can maybe check those out. Maybe films you wouldn't have heard of before.
Maybe. And the other odd thing about the set is it's got True Romance in it.
Oh yeah, I did actually see that. I thought that was weird. Like he wrote it, but it wasn't that script that was used, was it?
Oh, is that right?
I'm.
All right, I think he did write the script.
Right, did he? I thought there was something that like it was rewritten.
Well, there was Natural Born Killers that it was based on his script, but
Yes,
then he
that's it,
wasn't
sorry.
happy because Oliver
Sorry.
Stone kind of
Yeah.
made a kind of different film.
Right.
But I thought it was weird. I mean, it's probably a rights issue
Mm-hmm.
about what films can involve, but it seems strange to have one film that he was the scriptwriter on. Why not have other stuff that he, like?
Yeah, like it was from Dusk Till Dawn. He wrote
Yeah.
as well, didn't he?
Why not have like Planet Terror
Mhm.
and do the full Grindhouse? Why not have?
So Death Proof's on it, but Planet Terror isn't on it.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't even notice that Death Proof was on it, to be honest.
Alright.
But it is, aye.
Aye.
No, you're probably right. The one
Yeah.
with Planet Terror on it.
Seem to have one anomalous film
Aye.
just in there.
It does seem a bit odd.
I mean,
to have
Dusk
it.
Till Dawn, actually, like, if he's a main actor in a
Uh-huh.
film as well, you think he could have flung that in. But
Yeah, definitely.
more of a Tarantino as a
Mm-hmm.
wider filmmaker than just a director. But there you go.
Probably that's just for. What do you think of From Dusk Till Dawn? I know we had. the
I
whole
didn't
how far
care
it's
for it
too
really.
far. Yeah. You don't really like it?
No.
No, I quite like it. Enjoy it. There you go.
Okay, so that's us for this episode, I think. So Simon, what are we going to cover on the next episode?
Okay, so I'd like to. I don't know how to make apologies or say I'm not going to make any apologies, but we're going to be looking at a film called a 2008 film by director. Let me get this right. Noboru Iguchi, called The Machine Girl. Now some people are probably screaming, "Hell no!" in the crowd. Probably having thoughts back to when I picked Vamp. I don't get to choose very often, Gary. So come on, I've got to throw some curveballs in, and for a couple of kind of dark themed films there. So
Yeah.
I like to lighten up a wee bit. This is one that I enjoyed. I thought it was fun. You've never seen it before, Gary, so
I haven't.
I'm going to check that out. If there's people that are going to listen to the podcast that haven't seen it, get it watched. As always, you can hit us up at Facebook. So that's facebook.com/cinemasubculture, or you can email us at cinema_subculture@hotmail.com.
Right, so join us next time on Cinema Subculture. Thanks for listening and
Don't fuck the baby.